So I listen to the CU podcast. It's Pat the NES Punk and his boy Ethan, and they fucking do this shit every 2 weeks, and they talk about like video gaming, tech shit, YouTube shit, blah blah blah, right? So there's another guy on YouTube that I watch. He's the 8-bit guy, and he made a video recently where he was replacing fucking label art on an NES cartridge and an Atari 2600 cartridge. And basically what he was doing was he was taking it, you know, designing it in Photoshop himself and then printing it out and then trying to put it back, you know, paste it back on the cartridge, right? I'm looking for my mirror to be there and I took it off. So, you know, he took Photoshop shit. He did a WrestleMania and a Pitfall cartridge. So on the WrestleMania cartridge, they were really both the cartridges. The dudes on the NES, or not the NES, the CU podcast, they were upset with him because, like, in the community there was an outcry for, like, oh, you know, people who are collectors, if you have this fucking do-it-yourself box art shit, it really fucking drives the value, like makes the cartridges worthless basically because it's not the original box art. So he said, and he said this in the video before this ever even was said, you know, in a public forum of any kind. He said these are his cartridges and he's going to do what he wants with them, and then he compared it to somebody fixing up a classic car. So I wanted to weigh in on this just because I actually have an opinion about this. So I've taken, I started collecting original Xbox games about a year ago, and if I would buy one and it didn't have the box art, I would go online and I would print the box art out and put it into the fucking case, like, so it would actually look like, because I only do it really because I don't like, if you have a case and it doesn't have a fucking, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? If you have a case and it doesn't say what the hell's inside of it, like, that's shitty. And then if you put the fucking shit on there with, like, masking tape or what the fuck ever, it looks shitty. And I don't like it. Like, I'd like for it to look fucking legit, right? So I can print them out at home on my printer, and they look just the fucking same as they do with fucking, you know, if you buy them brand new, right? I mean, to me. So I was doing that just so my fucking shelf of games would look nice. And again, I'm a fan of both these fucking groups of people, but I gotta fucking agree with the fucking 8-bit guy, dude. Like, if you want to fucking take your shit and redo it however the fuck you want, then that's you. And if you die, that's not your fucking fault that you died. Like, because that's basically what they were saying. Like, what about when you die and these things go back into the market? Well, what about that shit? When that dude dies, that dude's probably like, I don't know, 35 or something, right? He's not super old, so he'll probably got another 30 years before he dies. Do you think in 30 years people are even going to give a fuck about goddamn NES cartridges? Because you're out of your fucking goddamn mind. No one's going to give a shit, okay? Nobody cares. And you've said it several times on your fucking podcast that you shouldn't invest in these fucking games because they're going to be fucking worthless. And they are going to be fucking worthless. And I say this as somebody who collects game and who doesn't, if it's a cartridge, I don't fuck with the art on it. If it's fucked up, it's fucked up and I don't care. As long as I can tell what the hell it is. Because, like, I collect fucking, really all my NES carts have pretty, like, the labels are fine, but like Sega Genesis carts, I've got some Sega Genesis cartridges with some fucked up ass labels. But I don't care, because it's like, you know, what the fuck are you gonna do? I'm not gonna sit here and go through all the trouble of making my own labels personally. But when it's something as simple as, you know, you fucking print that, you fire that shit off on your printer at home and you can find the shit online, it's already fucking scaled to fit the box. All you gotta do is print it and put it inside of there. I'll do that. It's minimal effort, and it's saving me money versus going to try and find an empty case with the actual box art in it. So, in that regard, but like I said, I mean, I agree with the dude who put the fucking labels on. You can do what the fuck you want with your stuff, dude. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. For instance, let me put this into another realm for you, okay? So I also collect like music shit. Like, I have records and CDs, right? So if I bought a CD at like the thrift store or something, and let's say it's a CD but it didn't have the case, and I've been doing this since I was a kid, I would go and I would either find the shit find the CD and take the fucking jewel case apart and photocopy the fucking inserts, just the front and the back, so I have those. Or I'd find them online and fucking print them. And again, it's the whole thing about it's minimal effort. It's a lot easier to, like, let's say, go to the library and find whatever thing you're missing. And I mean, really, like, people just want their shit to look complete. And I mean, why do you have to legit go out and fucking waste your money on something that you could do yourself? And then, when you do the shit yourself, it's something that you can be like, yeah, you know, I did that. And I mean, it's just kind of a cool little thing, right? Because, like, I've done all kinds of custom shit for all kinds of reasons. Okay? So, and I mean, that's kind of like, that goes into your repertoire of skills. Like, for instance, in that video, the 8-Bit Guy video, I mean, he went into Photoshop and he recreated the WrestleMania label. And I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's a lot of fucking time. But, like, what if fucking, not that it is, I'm sure it's not, but what if WrestleMania is, like, you know, your favorite game or some shit and you really want it to look fucking legit? Like, yeah, you could go spend the, whatever, $250 on another cartridge, which is probably what most people would do, but I don't think you should fault the guy for doing it the way he fucking wants to. And again, those 2 cartridges that he had, you said yourself, aren't fucking really worth anything any goddamn way. Now, let's say he had, you know, because you guys always want to use the example of fucking Little Samson. So let's say this dude had a Little Samson, and he just reprinted the fucking, the label art. Alright, let's just hypothetically say that. Now, when you buy something as a collector, you're buying to have all the, you know, everything that comes with the package, right? The label, the cartridge, everything. But if you're buying something that's loose, its value's not as high as something that's in the box, right? So if somebody, let's say, instead of having it be somebody reprinted a label and stuck it on there, what if somebody fabricated a box and fabricated a manual and did it as legit as possible, that it would fool at least the layman? Okay, now, in that regard, I would feel like that's more someone having the malicious intent of trying to sell it for more money, right? Because a Little Samson is worth, like, whatever. It's worth quite a bit, but it's worth more when it's in the box. And if you take that box, let's say you know somebody who works in a factory somewhere and could repackage it for you in shrink wrap. So if somebody goes to all that trouble, that would be something that I would find fault with. But this guy just wanted this shit for his personal collection to look nice. I don't think that you should take issue with that. And the fact that he made a video to show other people how to do it, you know, he said that you do it for your personal use. With the bootleg labels, again, like I see the points of both sides, but I just think in this specific case and in the case of people's personal collections, it's fine to do that. And let me cite one more example, and then I'm going to get off this fucking topic. Back in the day, right? I can't tell what time it is. I think it's 5:33. Back in the day, let's say that, you know, it was 1990, and you had a NES cartridge, and it had a fucked up label. And you yourself found a way to get a replacement label and stick it on there. Before there was a collector's market for it, if it was just, you know, NES, your personal collection, hypothetical, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? You know, do you take fault with people that did that fucking 25 years ago, or what? Because I think that that's, you know, this is your own shit, man. You can do what the fuck you want with it. And it's kind of like the thing about that, there's that YouTube channel where they fucking take stuff and blow it the fuck up or whatever. They cut it open to see what's inside of it. It's a guy and his kid. I've seen them before. But they did like a drone and a fucking arcade machine and all this shit. And people really take issue with that because, like, those are expensive things that people could find better things to do with than to fucking destroy. And, again, I appreciate that. And I've felt that way, like that. Who's that dude who just throws everything in, like, a pool of shit? He did, like, you know, he threw a fucking drone into a pool of Coca-Cola or something fucking stupid, and, like, iPads and Xboxes, and Just a fucking really stupid fucking guy. And, like, I don't give a fuck what y'all motherfuckers say. Ain't nobody making that much money on YouTube to be buying all this shit just to destroy it. Like, it's just not happening.